No. Hey everybody, it's Big D, Dave Taylor. We got a triple threat of entertainment and information today. Mike Pache from LiveNOW, Celeste Rodriguez, and Steve Nielsen will all be here talking Hantavirus, Nancy Guthrie, the Iran war, and much more. Don't miss a minute. Tell your friends, spread the word.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fox 10 Talks. Yes, and we have a number of different things that we are going to be looking into here this morning. Ron is off today and tomorrow, so you have myself, you have Steve Nielsen here as well. Nice to see you, my friend. And Mike Pache as well.
Yes,
buddy.
good morning.
Nice to see you. You ventured down the stairs to hang with us.
Traffic was good today. You know?
That's good. That's good. We have had just some breaking headlines here for you, and nice to see you all here. Thank you so much. And we see many of you in the chat as well. So Thomas Favela, Burger Boy, good morning to you, Louis Gonzalez. Let us know if you're new to the chat where you're watching from this morning as well. We are talking about the Hantavirus and the number of different places that people have been transported to.
It's very interesting trying to piece all this together. They clearly have a plan. They've got a strategy in place here between Atlanta, between Nebraska, here in Phoenix, trying to figure out all of these different things that the CDC has pieced together on who's at risk, who's not at risk. For us, though, I think at home, we have a lot of questions on how all of this works because we aren't the CDC experts. We're not a part of those discussions.
Right, absolutely. And I think there was some, ease to the news of this, even last week when the World Health Organization came out and said, look, this isn't the same as COVID. We don't want everyone thinking that this is going to be the start of what, because 2020 is still fresh in so many. So many.
Oh my gosh!
Trauma.
You blink and you're like, "What happened?
Yeah.
Where have we been?" So let's give you the update here on this story, and then we do have some big news coming from the Nancy Guthrie case as well. So if you want to stay tuned for that. So the newest information on the Hantavirus situation, and we had a press conference, and we'll show you some of the sound coming from that as well. 17 Americans evacuated from the cruise ship. They're now in quarantine in Nebraska this morning. Apparently, that is the only federally funded quarantine unit for highly infectious diseases. So the passengers were removed from the Dutch cruise ship. And, of course, they have that rare Andes strain of the virus, which can be spread between people. But you have to be in close proximity for it to happen from human to human.
Is this so? Are we doing the whole 6 feet thing again when we talk about this? Because you bring up the COVID thing and the fresh memories of all of that, but this sounds so different as far as how it can be transmitted. COVID, we were told, was very easily transmitted. That was the key concern. Airborne, yes, everywhere. This feels very different as far as the transmission goes. Yeah.
So apparently, it's human to human. They said that at least a few of the people that were diagnosed. They were like wife and husband and child. So they were like very, very close proximity, skin to skin type of a situation. So we have 17 people that have now been quarantined in Nebraska at that federally funded quarantine unit for highly infectious diseases. We also have, and this was new coming out this morning as well, is a couple people taken to Atlanta.
Yes. That is true. They're saying at least one of those passengers showing symptoms of the virus, the others being monitored out there. Gosh, there's just so much to track on all this, trying to figure out all of the different patients going to different locations, but trying to understand why they made the decision to send them to these different places.
Right. And I think the worry, too, here is that the symptoms early on mimic a cold or a flu. So you're thinking, okay, this is, and then if you are, in one of these cases where it could go the other way, it starts to get rapidly worse. Yeah. And then you find out that it's not just a flu. It's very, it's getting into the lungs, and that's when things can get really, really bad for people fast.
And I think you touched on that with the getting into the lungs, that it's a respiratory illness, right? And there's no medicine that apparently can, but they're immediately taken into ICU, and then that's where they're treated. So maybe that's why the 17 were taken to that hospital, and then the two that we heard, it says arrival details. This is what we're hearing, and let's show you that video one more time because it's the newest video that we have here. The patients arrived on a Kalitta airplane at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International. It was just before 10 a.m. this morning. So the individuals were observed wearing protective gear, aided down the stairs, placed into an ambulance for transport to the hospital. So according to Atlanta News First and Nebraska health officials, at least one of the passengers is in fact showing symptoms of the virus, while the other is being monitored. These are the two that were taken to Emory University Hospital today. And so this is kind of the biggest news because it's happening, well, just this morning it took place. Are you guys seeing anything in LiveNOW, Mike, with some of those press conferences or announcements?
Yeah, we've been monitoring World Health Organization. We took a couple of their news conferences last week, and just, again, having medical experts on it. I mean, it feels almost, I know they say it's not like COVID, but like the way from the news point of view, I mean, it seems like, you're March and April of 2020 again a little bit.
Well, you just talked about the symptoms, how it starts, the respiratory and looking at these things. It starts like a common cold. These are all the things we said about COVID in the beginning, right?
Yep.
And then COVID slowly grew into this thing where it was basically if something wasn't right with you 100%, well, that was another sign of COVID, right? You could get a rash. That was COVID. Like it was everything. So it does have that start and that feel. But the key thing that is the biggest part is the transmission part of this.
Right.
That this is hard to transmit. It's person to person, but it's hard to transmit it as opposed to COVID, which was just out there.
Yeah, if you were in close quarters, I mean, it's pretty good,
right?
Bet that you'd get it.
Some grocery stores, and maybe you all have seen this as well. Some grocery stores have still like the X on the floor,
the stickers
as you're waiting to check out of the grocery store, and so you're like, oh gosh, like I remember that we survived that.
The plexiglass is still there in strange places. Like you go to maybe not like a McDonald's, but a Ma and Pa burger shop, and they'll still have it up there, and you're like, oh, you guys just never took it down, huh? Okay.
Yes. So Here is more on, of course, we'll be covering the latest on this story throughout the morning. Sure. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic that we have for you this morning. We are talking about 100 days now since Nancy Guthrie has been missing, and the investigation is ongoing, of course. And this was video that Savannah posted over the weekend.
Just touching tribute to her mom. As we know, it was Mother's Day yesterday, and trying to still get these answers. It's heartbreaking to see all of these new videos and pictures, all these things where it continues to humanize her, that she's not just a name, she's not just that one or two pictures that we've seen for 100 days, that this is a real person, this is a real family that's going through all of this pain still. And 100 days since they last saw her.
Right.
Tomorrow, I believe it's 100 days since she was actually taken. And I think we look back on this now, on these 100 days, I don't think any of us thought it was possible we would be here in this situation, especially when we got the surveillance video, or not the surveillance, the doorbell video. Right. As soon as we got that, I remember we all talked to expert after expert after expert who said, now that they got that, we are days away from this thing being solved. And here we are, 100 days.
100 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard for not only Savannah, but the rest of the family, like you were saying, where, it's hard enough to lose somebody within the last year and try to celebrate Mother's Day and think about it. But there's no closure for the family because they don't have the physical body of her. And, the whole thinking about what happened, who took it. I mean, think about it, $1 million reward and no one's coming for it. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like at this point that there's so many dead ends.
So I'm glad you brought that up. The interesting thing, we had an former FBI agent on the morning show on AZAM, and we chatted with him even after we went to commercial break, and he said the fact that there is no press conference that we've seen, he actually believes they're really onto something. He said the fact that they haven't released any information leads him to believe, after working in the FBI, that they're not releasing information because they're really on to someone or something. And he said there's been so many different tips and calls and emails and bits of information that have come in. So he thinks that, and this is far from being a cold case, he said. A cold case is many, many months and sometimes many years into the making. And so he actually shared that he has hope in this case, which I thought it was interesting, because usually you think 100 days, where's everybody? Where's the investigation?
Yeah, we've transitioned now to a bad place in the investigation.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's great to hear that hope. I know as far as the press conference part of this, that was a massive frustration at the start of this whole thing. And the reason for that was because of how the information was leaked out. The sheriff would pick a reporter every day from a different news outlet and grant an interview to them. And then depending on those 6 questions they had time to ask for, that was the information everyone had to deal with for that day. Instead of just having a press conference, they had that initial press conference. And I believe the words were originally is we're not going to hold a press conference until we have something.
Yes.
And the problem was then that set a tone that if they're holding a press conference, it's because they broke the case. And it forced them to not have a press conference because of that. It sort of tied their hands on not being able to have one.
Yeah.
And I think we've moved on enough. I think 100 days is a perfect opportunity to have a press conference, to reset the conversation, allow every reporter from every outlet to just ask all of these outstanding questions on what we know. This would have been a good opportunity, I think, to do that. Granted, I'm a reporter, so I'm always biased for more information.
Right, we're always asking for more info. Let's go ahead and show you. There was a reporter from Fox Digital, actually, who interviewed Sheriff Nanos. Take a listen to this.
It's Mother's Day on Sunday. I was wondering if you had a message to the Guthrie family. Sorry, sir? You're okay? It's 100 days now almost, sir. Are you guys any closer to solving? We are.
So he says, we are, which I think, was interesting. And we haven't heard much. I think it's interesting, too, when he drives up. Lots of people on social media are talking about the vehicle as well. Yeah. But let's go ahead and get right to our poll question this morning, because it does have to do with this case. What do you think is the most likely outcome in the Nancy Guthrie case? Many of you in the chat are chiming in on this as well, and we appreciate your comments. And Darla Nicole, thank you so much. I'll read one of the comments when we come back from break. But it will eventually be solved. 28% of you says it will remain a mystery. 67% of you. And new evidence will change everything. Steve, my friend, you want to go over the YouTube poll?
Yeah, YouTube poll, same question here. Results pretty similar, actually. It'll eventually be solved at 31%. It will remain a mystery at 52%. And new evidence will change everything. That's a little bit higher than the other poll sitting there at 17%. Not a hopeful crowd. I mean, most people, the majority here, saying it will remain a mystery, which is a devastating thing to think about.
Yeah, I know. It really is. And we'll get to Big D in a quick moment. But first, here's coming up next, the latest on Iran war tensions. President Trump is actually rejecting Iran's latest demands, calling the proposal totally unacceptable. And a quick note here, what the president suspended that may actually drop your gas prices, that he did this morning. We've got the latest on that. And here is also a quick preview of your mystery camera on your Monday.
My favorite.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. That is your preview of your mystery camera. And I'll give you guys a little hint.
I want a hint.
You want a hint on this one?
We need one.
And we'll bring it back to you at 10:30 and do it then. But this is somewhere where Ron's been here. And he's been a lot of places.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah, that really doesn't cross out a lot.
I'm trying to think of what U.S. state the man has not been to.
There's like two states. There's two states.
Okay, so it's not North Dakota? Is that?
Yeah, it's not North Dakota. And it's not Arizona either. So
flora and fauna might have helped with that.
We'll bring you
and
back.
A full lake.
Right? We'll bring you back the mystery camera in a quick minute, and then you can all share some of your thoughts in here. And it is really insightful. Many of you are so insightful in your comments. Let's show you the poll one more time, poll question, because we want to get to Big D on this and some of the comments. They're a little bit different on television and online versus what we're seeing on YouTube specifically. So what do you think is the most likely outcome in the Nancy Guthrie case? The one leading right now is it will remain a mystery, 68%. Let's get right to Dave with more on this. Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys. Tons of people commenting on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Jean Amon says, I suspect that her body will eventually be found, but the reasons for her disappearance may not be. Mark Sheets says, sadly, she is gone somewhere deep in the ground in the desert. Pepsi Warren says, I've thought from the beginning the cartel got her. They kidnap people in that area a lot. And finally, Little C says, the only issue I have is the sheriff. He's a real problem. Get him out. Let someone else take over. He keeps saying new things are coming and then doesn't deliver it. He is the problem. Really interesting comments, and like Steve Nielsen said, not a lot of optimism in those comments.
No. Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's read what Darla Nicole, she shared. She says, it should have been solved a long time ago, which tells me there is more to the story. Someone in law enforcement was probably involved, and that's how they were able to avoid authorities. That's an interesting viewpoint on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, all the theories are possible, available, they're out there. You can't really rule a single thing out because they haven't told us they've really ruled anything out other than the family. That's really the only thing they've told us they've ruled out.
Yeah, and, I was thinking about this over the break, too, when we were talking about, hey, we want the sheriff and others to come out and do a news conference for 100 days. How about Savannah Guthrie, the family, doing a formal news conference? I know she's already back on the air, but maybe the family themselves could reset this case.
That's a good
in a way
point.
Because, we've, of course, seen statements that they have done on Instagram and stuff like that, pre-recorded. But what about a live news conference? Really set it up.
That's a good point.
I think that's great, and I think that would force law enforcement to get involved in that in some way. If they're going to say, listen, we're doing a news conference, you got to get involved in this or not, but you got to make that decision. It would be really interesting, too, with all of the behind-the-scenes conflict we've heard about between the FBI and the sheriff's department, is if you get in there and you say, hey, FBI, we want you to be a part of this, and see how the sheriff responds to that. Or, sheriff, we want you to be a part of this, see how the FBI responds to that.
Back to that former FBI agent, for all of you sharing your thoughts, in the chat. It was interesting, too. Lance Lysing is his name, and what he's told me this morning was it's almost like a marriage. Like, you both have to be willing to work together in terms of, like, Sheriff Nanos and his department and the FBI. And if someone is not willing to work together, then you're out of luck. You're screwed. Because you got to be able to work together to make things happen. So I don't know if that was kind of a bit of a huge speed bump maybe in moving this case forward a little bit. So we'll keep you posted on that. Share your thoughts on the poll question as well. And if you want to share your thoughts and comments on the YouTube poll, the link is at the top of the chat on YouTube. Let's go right to this story. So we're talking about what is happening in Iran, and I'm sure you all have been listening. I mean, it's almost like every day we get a new update.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it seems like we're so much just on this line of the ceasefire being really dismantled because President Trump is not getting what he wants in favor of negotiations with Iran. They keep on, really kicking the can down the line. And I mean, they've been doing this for the last 47 years, this type of negotiation where they kind of just want to elongate it, and hopefully you forget about it. But I mean, once again, President Trump not getting what he wanted for the uranium enrichment to be gone from Iran. And this is where we're at right now. And it seems like it's very on the edge here of the ceasefire.
And the trust issues involved in this are massive. Not that there was ever going to be trust between U.S. negotiators and Iranian negotiators, but it just seems like if there was 1%, that has been blown out of the water at this point. So, okay, they might be able to get in the room, but how much trust do you have in either side walking away from those negotiations and saying, yep, I'm going to hold true to everything you just said?
And I think the worry is not only do they trust us, do we trust them, but the regime in Iran, I don't think they trust themselves.
Correct.
So how do you do a negotiation with someone that they're kind of on the fence with who's in charge?
You mentioned a good point. There's a lot of different people who want to lead. There's too many chefs in the kitchen, so to say. So Doug Luzader has the latest on this. Let's take a look at what he's covering here with his report.
An Iranian military official with a warning to the U.S. of what he called surprising options, just as the regime rejected a U.S. deal to end the conflict and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. UN ambassador Mike Waltz said the administration was offering an off-ramp that would reopen the strait and deal with Iran's nuclear program. But according to Iranian state media, the regime had demands of its own, including U.S. reparations for the war, control over the strait, and the removal of sanctions. And President Trump wrote on Truth Social, "I have just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives. I don't like it. Totally unacceptable." This comes as the president prepares to travel to China this week. While much of those talks will focus on trade, there are hopes that China will lean on Iran to accept a deal. And back at home, facing rising gas prices, the administration isn't ruling out suspending the federal gas tax.
Doug Luzader and the latest on that. I'm glad he mentioned that last part because that is exactly what the president did. He suspended the federal gas tax, so you could save upwards of about 18 cents per gallon.
Now, that's great. We all want to save some money on that. The gas tax exists for a reason, though. It funds really important things, including all of the transportation projects that go around in this country. And there's a lot of aging infrastructure in this country. Now, 1 month delay on funding the gas tax probably not going to change much of anything. But however long this goes, that could start to have some impacts on the other end of the whole thing. So it's a tough situation in general for everyone.
It seems like he's trying to get ahead of Memorial Day travel coming up, and maybe trying to get those just a little bit lower, as people are going to be heading out, hopefully.
So let me ask you, and I'll ask all of you in the chat, what's the most expensive? We've talked about this before, gas price you've seen in recent days.
I want to say $4.90, something like that. I've done. Yeah, I mean,
Mike?
$4.95, $4.98. So
I was taking a drive down to southern Arizona on Friday, and I stopped in Dateland, and it was $6.45. And I was going to top off. I was cleaning my windshield, all the bugs, and so I was going to top off, and I was like, absolutely not. You drive to Yuma, it's $2 cheaper.
Yeah.
And then Dominique Newland, who used to work here, we're still friends. So she was in LA.
How's Dom doing?
She's doing great.
That's great. I haven't talked to her.
She was in LA and she saw like $8.58 or something. She was, in LA. And so when you think about it, and we've seen higher than $5 a gallon here in Arizona. It was back during the COVID days, but hopefully, like we get a little bit of a resolution here soon, because I think it's not just hurting Americans like on Main Street, but think of all the goods that are transported by 18-wheelers and things like that.
The president has a massive headline problem right now with all of this, and the only way you fix that is with cheaper gas.
Yes.
You can't fix it with press conferences, statements. I promise it's really going well and we're doing great in Iran. That's not going to change anyone's take when they fill up their car.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to just fix the price.
Yes.
That's it, period.
And what I can't believe from all of this, I mean, when you think about crude oil, almost again at $100 a barrel, but yet we are still getting record highs on S&P 500,
we are.
NASDAQ. And you know why? Because of the AI boom that is once again circulating. But I wonder just, how overextended that could get. And then what happens?
Great point.
Yeah, because, who would have ever thought You get crude oil almost at $100 a barrel, and the market is just, going bonkers.
The Dow was at.
You would have thought it would be reversed.
It touched. What did it touch 50,000 for like a quick second, and then drop back down last week or something? It's crazy.
Someone asked me just yesterday whether or not this was a good time to buy a house, and I'm sure realtors will have a strong take, and sellers and buyers have strong. What I would say is I have no idea, and this is the first time I can really remember not knowing. I mean, we always have a vibe on this is the direction the economy's going. This is weird right now. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. I had one economist I talked to yesterday talked about the K-style economy, where you get people that are heavily invested in the markets that have a lot of money. They are making out like gangbusters right now. And then you get a lot of people.
Some of them, many of you have seen our Cool House on Mondays and our Cool House show. I've talked to those realtors, and they say people are putting the halt, even people that are buying $5, $10, $15 million homes. They're stopping. They're waiting to see what happens, because even though they got
it's a weird economy.
Because it's a weird economy, like nobody knows. Okay, we want to get right to this real quick.
Be the Fox headline on this weird economy.
It's a weird economy. Let's get right to this next story. We're talking about this Frontier plane. Did you guys hear about this situation that took place? This was a situation that took place on a tarmac. So this is a statement here coming from the pilot and air traffic control. This was officials say that a trespasser scaled a perimeter fence before reaching the runway just minutes before impact. This is at Denver International. Can you imagine being on a plane? And all of a sudden you hear the pilot come to a screeching halt, and they ran somebody over. We don't know anything about who this person is. They still don't know who the person is.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, a terrifying moment. And I mean, people got hurt in the plane.
Yeah.
Because of the halt that this pilot had to do. And I mean, it had to be just nerve-wracking for the pilots to see this individual on the tarmac.
It is,
and then you're trying to stop and do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
I see everything in the world through a parent's eyes. And the first thing I saw in that first clip was a kid coming off of that plane. And I just immediately think, if I'm on that plane with my kids, if we don't get injured and we're all okay, how in the world am I going to explain this to a 7-year-old what just happened and what they were just a part of?
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, and a quick mention here at this story right here. Spirit Airlines social media campaign now underway to bring back Spirit. The reason I want to mention this, we're going to break right now and we'll show you the mystery camera, is because Spirit Airlines, their planes are now parked at Mesa Gateway Airport. Sky Fox was overhead this morning with a live look. So we'll have more on that throughout the day and see what happens. Here is your mystery camera this morning. Give us your answers and your guesses. And Steve and Mike will have your answer coming up after the break.
All right.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is your mystery camera. We got some good guesses here.
Really good guesses.
Right, and I said it was a state Ron has been not been to.
No, it hasn't.
Or has been to. Thank you, Dave.
And immediately,
like, what did I say again?
Immediately we think that's not helpful because he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he has.
But then I thought, you know what? For you to confidently say, I've got a memory of Ron there.
Yes.
I think that was a really good hint to me and to a lot of our viewers here because everyone and their mothers went for Washington on this one.
Okay, and I'm going to go with Washington also.
Yeah,
Are you going to go with Washington?
I think, and I'm going to go with Olympia, Washington as well. I think that's fair. Most of the viewers have talked me into this. However, I do want to say my gut reaction here was Delaware.
Yeah, you also said went to Pennsylvania.
Mike
Mike
Pache. He was saying Pennsylvania.
He had to jet out to a meeting because he's a very important
busy, very important man.
Okay, would you like to do the honors, my friend?
Oh, yeah, so we get to open it up now.
Yes.
I don't get to do this very often. This is very exciting.
Okay.
I get to, which camera am I looking at
You're
here?
looking
Number
at
2?
number 2, I believe.
Okay, here we go.
Da-da-da-da.
Olympia, Washington.
Olympia, Washington.
Well done. The amount of winners here that guessed Olympia. Wow.
Yeah. You all are winners.
You're winners.
On this Monday. By the way, Paul Humphrey says they were in California and paid $7.69 a gallon in San Diego over this last weekend. Oh my gosh. It sounds painful. Darla Nicole said Virginia or Maine, LOL. And you guys are already talking food, so we love that. Just continue to talk food. And okay, so we're going to get back to this story with a TikTok and Spirit really Airlines. This video actually was posted online, and it was interesting because it has gotten so much love. The company shut down operations earlier this month after a second bankruptcy declaration. The content creator on TikTok, they posted this video proposing a plan to save the budget carrier through crowdfunding. So this is a really interesting thought process behind this because a lot of people think by Spirit not being around, it makes prices overall more expensive because you don't have that budget airline to compete with. I mean, I guess JetBlue, that is also Frontier.
Yeah, I mean, even Southwest has changed a little bit. Yeah. They aren't quite that, budget airline anymore. You got to pay for bags. You pay for your seats now.
Yeah. It's crazy. So the video has been viewed at least 7 million times, has already gained 335 million in pledges. The user says that enough people chip in and the airline could potentially be brought back. Imagine if you had a hand in that, Steve.
Well, do you have an ownership stake if you're doing that? $335 million in pledges. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. There's 0% chance that that is happening. That's how I feel about it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'll say this. This is an unpopular opinion on airline prices. Okay. I'm going to go for it right now, though. Okay. When I was in college, which was many a year ago at this point, my bald spot.
5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. Yeah. All of my children and lack of hair would prove that. No, it cost me when I would fly across the country to see family about $400 to $500.
That's cross country.
Cross country. Now, if I fly across the country, I've got family in New York that I see, it costs about $400 to $500. Now, that is still a lot of money.
It is.
And especially for a family of 5, we're talking $2,500, $3,000 that we have to spend just to see family. It's a lot of money. But that's about the same price as I was paying 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten that much more expensive. And I think that's why we see companies like Spirit go out of business. Yeah. They haven't raised their... Think about how much more a car costs today than it did 20 years ago.
Yeah, a lot more inflation.
Gas, all these things. Airline prices haven't gotten that much more
Think
expensive.
of how much more expensive phones are, which brings us to our next story. This is an appropriate transition.
You were smart to move off of that because that was such a controversial take I had that no one is going to like.
No, I actually think you're probably right in most ways. It's just that bag fees. Maybe they're making their money on the bag fees and things like that. Listen to this when it comes to let us know in the chat, do you use autocorrect? And if you do use auto, or maybe it's turned on automatically, I know on your phone, but are there certain words when you're texting or voice to text that actually are misspelled more often than not? And so iPhone users are getting pretty upset, saying it's getting harder and harder to type on the device. A trending complaint on social media. Folks are pretty upset about this. They said the issue of the keypad and autocorrect. They're saying they have to go back and correct more typos than ever before or in the past. And that autocorrect is either coming up with nothing close to what they intended, or changing words that really do not need to be changed. So if you're having issues, here's a couple of quick solutions.
Okay.
As some of you,
I need this.
Okay, go to the text replacement settings. That means you have to go to your settings. I know. Anytime somebody says go to settings, you're like, oh brother.
Okay, so go to take it to a professional.
Then I need to watch a YouTube channel, YouTube video to show me how to do it. So you go to text replacement in your settings and type in some of the words that you do not want to autocorrect. So let's say, for example, my name's Celeste often will be Sylvester. It does not know Celeste. It'll type in Sylvester.
I feel like there's a lot more Celestes out there than there are Sylvesters.
Well, I think because I spell it with an S-Y off the front. So some of the words that they do misspell, Sammy G says duck. That's one of the misspelled words that she, because
we all understand where you're going with that one, Sammy.
And then Married 2011 says, my wife is my autocorrect. And I love that. That's fabulous.
I love that as well. I actually get in a little bit of trouble with my sister because of autocorrect. She has a beautiful daughter, my niece, whose name is Callie, spelled C-A-L-I-E.
Oh.
And whenever we text about Callie, beautiful girl, wonderful girl, she's 4 years old, it autocorrects it to C-A-L-I.
Oh,
and then she
like
always,
California.
Yes. And then she responds by saying it's actually C-A-L-I. And I'm like, I know, it's autocorrect that's doing it. I don't think she believes me.
So now you can go in your settings, text replacement, and type in Callie.
Yeah, that was over my head. I already zoned out as soon as you said settings.
We are talking about big stories that are trending this morning. Have all of you seen this? It was Tom Brady at a roast with Kevin Hart. We've got Eric with TMZ with us this morning on this Monday. Eric, how was your weekend, my friend?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it was okay. It was no complaints. I got some sleep.
I know. Hopefully, you're not paying those crazy gas prices, and you have like either an electric car or you got a friend.
I filled up this morning. I just bought an SUV 3 months ago. What a terrible time to buy an SUV.
Okay. I have to ask, what was the total on your fill up?
You know, I was like right on E too, so it was a genuine fill up, $78.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have fun with the mortgage this month.
I know. Okay,
yeah,
so
it wasn't great.
You know, I was watching some of these videos with Tom Brady. I think this has made him more likable than when he was winning Super Bowls to the broader audience, anyways.
I mean, even more likable than when they did his roast, because even his roast, people knew what was off limits. Obviously, the Giselle stuff and his marriage and you know how bad he is at broadcasting, or at least was at the time. But this time he's leaning in, and I gotta say, you know, I like that these roasts are now on Netflix instead of Comedy Central, because people really don't hold back, and that's kind of what you want to do for a roast. You want to go hard at them, and they definitely went hard at Kevin Hart last night.
Oh my goodness, it was actually, and especially when he went after Kevin Hart's wife, it wasn't rude.
Yeah.
He was hitting on her.
Yeah, I mean, the hitting on her came after the fact that he called out that Kevin had an affair on her in Las Vegas. So yeah, that was kind of, I guess, to smooth it over, to say, well, you can have Tom Brady at least.
I find the Tom Brady thing so interesting because I just want to hate the man so badly, because
I'm
he's
not going to
perfect
let you.
and he's great at everything, and everything he does, he's good at. He was bad at broadcasting, and now he's good at it.
And maybe not great at marriage, but he's really good at a lot of things.
Well, I guess you got to, depends who you ask what they will take and leave.
Yeah.
And so, but the man, you have to give it to him. I mean, he's won all of these different. I mean, he's won all these Super Bowls. I mean, he's good at his craft.
Well, and now he's good at comedy. That's not fair. That's what people go to if they aren't good at football.
He's good at reading a teleprompter.
That's true.
Or memorizing lines,
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I'm an Eagles guy, so, I have a lot of hatred built in that I was raised upon, hating Tom Brady, so it's hard for me to compliment him here, but it is nice that he's at least participating.
Well, it's really, if you're a fan of any team other than the Patriots, you hate Tom Brady.
Well, this is a safe space. Do you want to share anything else, Eric? We have a little bit more time.
There may be other Patriots that we could talk about this morning that we may be able to trash a little more.
Here's the thing. Let's move on to this Mike Vrabel story with Diana Rossini.
Yeah,
this thing isn't going away.
No, so I acquired this photo that we just posted this morning of Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, her kind of draped over him at a Super Bowl party from 2022. We're told nothing, crazy happened between them, that she was just leaning in to, talk over the noise. There was a big concert that was going on at this event at the Kia Forum right after the NFL Honors Ceremony where Vrabel just won Coach of the Year in 2022. So they were out celebrating that together. She was on the red carpet for that event as well. And yeah, our tipster said that it definitely looked close, but we're hearing from other people that they didn't look close.
Oh.
So it's kind of a war of words right now, but the photo, I'll let it speak for itself.
So the story behind it, I understand, is that she named her baby. Does she have one or two children? I think she has multiple, right?
She has two, I believe.
Kids. So she named one of the babies Mike, and she was like, but it could be named after many different Mikes.
Sure, Mike's a common name.
Yeah, but we're told from sources close to the situation that she named it after her brother, not after Mike Vrabel. The virality of this whole story about who she named the baby after was she made a tweet just a few weeks after giving birth and said, I can't help but look at my baby and wonder who are the best Mikes in coaching in the NFL or who played and coached in NFL history. And obviously, now that we, have hindsight to that, we kind of assume she was alluding to Vrabel.
Yeah, there is one guy that I like, and he's not in the NFL anymore, John Gruden. Have you seen his YouTube show, by the way, Eric?
I have not. Is that on Barstool?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's so good.
You like him?
I love him.
Love him? Okay.
Yeah, he's so fun.
Okay.
I'm an Andy Reid guy. I think we should give Andy Reid his own show. Let him do whatever he wants.
You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I just have to say, though, to go back to this Mike Diana Rossini story, how this has come out has been so interesting. It almost feels like a PR firm's behind it because it's like every 2 weeks there's a new photo.
Yeah.
It's exactly how you would want it to go if you were trying to bring them down.
I know there are a lot of rumors online that one of the spouses hired a PI or anything like that. I can confirm, as the person who obtained all of the Rossini assets that you see from us, at least, it's been different people. It's not a PI. It's people who just happen to be at the events.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
And they look after the fact and they're like, oh, I forgot I had these.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you, buddy. We're rooting for Andy Reid also. Have a great week.
Thank you.
All right, we've got more coming up here in just a brief moment. We're talking graduation.
Oh, okay.
We'll be right back. Woo! All right, welcome back, everyone, to Fox 10 Talks. And if you'd like to join the chat, here's a quick shout out to many of you. Thomas Favola, Darla Nicole, Jenna Purr. I saw Sammy G on earlier, Burger Boys, Louis Gonzalez, Linda Monter. Quick shout out. If you want to join the conversation on YouTube, you can go to Fox 10 Phoenix on YouTube and click on live. You'll find us right there, and then you can join the conversation on your phone, on your iPad, on your desktop, anywhere. And you can watch us on TV, too.
That's right. Thing. And I just have to give an extra shout out to Darla there, because she said something nice to me in the chat
She
earlier.
did. She likes you, Steve.
She likes me. And I like you too, Darla. And if you say you like me, I'll always give you a shout out. That's how my ego plays. So thank you.
We got to love on each other.
That's right.
Right? We got to love on each other.
And that is me soliciting for more compliments.
Oh, yeah. So if anybody wants to share another compliment, Steve's here.
Appreciate you.
For another 15 minutes with me. Okay, so we do have Forbes Riley and joining us here this morning, and we're talking about graduates. Obviously, Forbes, good morning. Nice to see you. I think can you press the mute button?
Okay, now you guys can hear me. It is the 21st century. Press new, know how to chat. Yes.
It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for your time. We're talking about graduates, people graduating with their bachelor's degree, master's degree. What is the current job market look like for these grads?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. One of the problems is people are relying too much on AI. We all know what AI sounds like. It's very stilted. It's not you. And I'm going to tell you the only way that humans are going to win in the 21st century is the ability to pitch, communicate, create authenticity, and connect with each other. And I think when you do that, you're going to explode. But don't fall into that trap that AI is going to take your place.
Well, that's a really interesting point. I've got young kids. They aren't graduates right now, but they're young kids, 7, 4, and 1.
Well, they will be graduating kindergarten.
That's true, very soon. But the thing I try to talk to them and set them up for is there's a lot of parents that want to get them online, onto iPads, and to be ready for the technical world and all that. And I keep trying to get them outside. And I always keep telling them, be a leader, because I feel like that's our role in society going forward, not the tech.
No, that's not true. That's your grandparents, and be very careful about that. I've got 2 kids. They're 23-year-old twins. My daughter at 17 made her first $1 million online because she's a great coder, and she was building websites for my friends. She now runs my multi-million-dollar coaching business, and my son is doing double duty, running an online software and going to Babson. So yes, you want to go outside, you want to swim, play tennis, know how to have a conversation. And it's funny, my son turned to me when he was 9 years old. He was so sad. He said, "Mommy, all the good ideas have been taken." Aww. And as I'm watching you guys talk about the chat on your news, we never thought about this before. No. You want your kids to stay up on trends, and it's funny. You want them to understand all the social medias. That's the way that you become successful nowadays, and it is the currency. So don't be your grandparents.
And kudos to your son for going to Babson. They have a great entrepreneurial program. My daughter has a friend going there. It's a great school. It's a great school. When you talk about AI, the fear, I think, with a lot of graduates is that it will take over their jobs. What type of advice can you do to help them reshape their mindset as they're moving forward into this current job market?
Okay, so I wrote the book on pitching, guys. I generated $2.5 billion in my career because I love this word. And this word is something that unfortunately most people are afraid of. They think, it sounds pushy or salesy. You guys, pitching is what you did to get into school. Pitching is what you do to get your kids to clean their room. Pitching is a skill that you need to master so that people say yes to you. Even when you would ask somebody to marry you, AI is not going to do that for you. How do you enroll someone to say yes? So as I'm looking on the screen at all of our graduates, I got to tell you, you've got to find your uniqueness, what makes you special if you want to succeed. And not everybody needs to build their dream. They can build somebody else's dream. But if you're entrepreneurial like I am, you got to lean in, level up, and get skills in communication. Know how to shake somebody's hand. Know how to look somebody in the eye when you're talking to them. And don't throw up on them. When they ask you what you do, don't tell them what you do. Tell them what you can do for them. And I promise you, when you become undeniable, you will rise to a level of success that AI cannot do for you.
Oh, that is a great idea. Tell them what you can do for them.
Yep, that's what the question means.
I love that. It's about reframing everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very technological 19. Yeah, that's a great word. Reframing is allowing somebody to not take the current situation. The other thing I would mind you guys all is don't let your past write your future. If you had problems, if you've been bullied or sexually harassed or whatever happens in your life, you want to clean that up before you step into the real world. Nobody's allowed on a plane with more than 2 bags. When you go to a new relationship, don't bring all your old luggage with you. You don't become somebody who wants to hang out with.
So, yeah, you show up fresh and ready to start. Let's say for someone who's, okay, now that we've tackled what's happening with some of the recent graduates, what about people who are leaving maybe a job or looking for something new, or they're midlife and they're thinking, Forbes, they're like, what do I have left to offer?
This is the greatest time ever. I just sat on the couch with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank a few minutes ago doing an interview for my book. He's 70 years old, and he and I both said, I'm 66. We're both getting started. So let me tell you something. I do a live training every Sunday, and I've been doing it live for 6 years, and it's free. So if you guys want to post the link, that would be great, because I'll tell you what, if you think you're too old, come talk to me. I've got people in their 80s who are starting businesses. I just got to wish my mentor, Elaine Lillane, Jack Elaine's wife, happy 100th birthday on March 15th.
Oh, wow.
So you do not get to end. If you want the rest of your life to be the best of your life, you need one of these. I know some of you are like, oh, what is that? It's a cell phone. It is a gateway to the world. There are people making money on TikTok Shop, on Instagram Shop. The reason I did write this book, one, the book starts with attitude. You've got to get aligned with moving forward. I think the greatest thing I have in my life is 2 23-year-old twins, because they are current. Steve, I got to tell you, having young kids is going to keep you young. And that is a really important thing. You don't have to join the workforce. You have to find something that you want to promote. Promote how you stayed healthy. Promote your favorite recipe. Promote how you stay married. Those things are information everybody wants, and this is the gateway.
Well, I love that, because my knee is swollen. I got another thing I got to deal with over here. I'm losing my hair, so I need something to keep me young, because I feel like I'm turning 115.
The only thing about what you said was, if I'm a parent of teenagers, then am I like a teenager?
Yeah.
That, you know?
Yeah. That's how I stayed online. That's how I'm current. That's how I have a website that rocks. Because my kids would not let me grow old, and then I married somebody a little younger than me, and that helped us too, because I don't want to look like his wife. I want to be his mother. I got to tell you, staying young is the energy. Guys, I don't think I look 66 years old.
You look amazing.
You do.
Well, and I appreciate that. And Steve, there's biohacks. You know, I've been biohacking forever. Do the sauna, do the red light therapy, do the peptides, do whatever today's technology allows you to stay vibrant, because this life is so beautiful. Let's not waste it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, potato chips on a couch watching Netflix, that's not wasting it, right?
Well, only if they're baked chips, not fried.
There you go.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we got to get that knee in order.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well,
you sound like my wife now.
I did the same. You know what? Check out stem cells, peptides, and I will tell you, get your butt to the gym just a little bit.
Oh my! So give us the information one more time, if you can, on every Sunday, and some information on your book and how we can follow you.
So, guys, every Sunday I go live at 5 p.m. Eastern for 2 hours, and I've been doing this for the last 6 years, since 2020. I love doing it. It's 100% free for you guys. Go to pitchsecretstraining.com. I will be there. I'm happy to work with you. Come on, Steve, I'm happy to rehab your knee. This is what I love doing. and this, by the way, guys, this is so much fun because it's in full color. Most people, my life is in full color, not black and white. But I help start careers of people like Kim Kardashian, Tony Horton, Serena Williams on television in terms of pitching. They're all in here. This is going to be a fun summer read for you guys, but more importantly, will inspire you to lean into your life. Pitching is about getting yeses. Stop telling people what they need. Get them to want what you have, and everybody wins.
Well, you are a big hit with our viewers here.
Yeah.
Sammy G says, love this lady. And everybody she says, yes, please, on the link. We'll make sure that we throw that up there as well for you, Forbes. And other people are kind of chiming in. Great mindset to have, says Amber. She says, age is just a number. And I think you've just proven that.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then Sammy said, yes, I am wasting my life. So you've motivated me, Forbes. I'm ready to go. I could run through a wall right now.
You get peptides, and you get peptides.
Dude, I'm not talking about this. Come join my community. We're on fire. We love each other. We uplift each other. We are a crazy, amazing community, because I'm not leaving until I'm done.
Oh my gosh, we are sold.
You're fantastic.
Thank you, Forbes. Have a great day. We appreciate your time.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Was that not amazing?
That was amazing.
Are you just like pumped up for your week?
And what I loved about her conversation with us is she was doing what she was saying we should do as far as how she was talking to us, right?
Yeah.
She was telling us what she can, what she has that we need, right?
Right.
Which is that positive mindset.
Yes.
She was delivering what she was saying we need to deliver.
Right.
That was great.
So now we need to join her, 5 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. By the way, do you have a great tip for, we're going to pitch this out to viewer voicemail. Do you have a great tip for some of those people seeking jobs or looking to change careers or something like that? The number is 602-262-0428. Maybe there's something that worked for you.
Yeah. How did you win that job interview?
How did you win this job interview? Or maybe not this job interview, but is there one that you won and you're like, oh, I know how you did that?
I've actually got a good one for how I came here.
Okay.
Our old news director, Doug, I'm happy to put this out here. Doug was great. My wife got a job in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So I was coming out here no matter what.
At a different station, but we won't
talk about that. Zip the lips. But I knew I was coming out here, and I wanted to work here at Fox 10.
Yeah, because this
work
is the
with
best
you,
place to work.
right?
Yeah.
This is the place to work. So I sent him easily my most aggressive email I've ever sent anyone in my life, which was,
all caps.
No, I had normal punctuation, but I said, hey, I'm moving to Phoenix in January. I can either work for you or your competitor. And he wrote me back within a minute. And that
was a bold statement.
It was a bold statement. I didn't do it to other people, but from what I'd heard about Doug, that would kind of work, I thought.
Yeah.
And I was on the phone with him 20 minutes later. Next day, I was on a plane out here, and then I had a job by the end of the week. So I think you have to figure out who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Do your best research as far as that goes.
Because that may not have worked with a different type of manager.
That wouldn't have worked on me.
Right? But it worked for you.
It worked for me,
And we're glad that it did. Yes, we're glad that it did.
That's very nice of you.
So let me go ahead.
I'm just fishing for all the compliments today, and been quite a few in the chat.
It's working, actually. It's working. Yeah. Deborah says it's Motivational Monday, and we're right there with you. Thank you, Deborah, for joining. Here's that phone number again. If you have a tip that worked for you, we would love to hear it when it comes to job search. 602-262-0428, and maybe we'll play your voicemail here on the air. Sammy G does say, she says, I volunteer with State 48 Foundation, and that is exactly what they promote. Small businesses. This Wednesday, they're hosting a free seminar. So there's lots of goodies, I think, to be had out there if you're looking to start your own business or grow your business or just get a little motivation here, like some great motivational stories from people in the industry.
Just be encouraged.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, that is half the battle, because every day it can be so discouraging if you're not building each other up and going forward. You get a lot of no's before you get a yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We so appreciate it. Look at all these scripts. We only went through half of them. Oh, my gosh. Have a great Monday, everyone.
Did you do this on the set?
Yeah, we do. I do this all the time, Obi. Welcome
clearly
on in.
we're not ready.
Happy Monday, everybody. 11 o'clock here on Fox 10 Talks. And we have a special guest with us, Georgia Obi, one of our producers that has been tracking and I guess following this Nancy Guthrie disappearance very closely. Today is day 100 since she was seen alive.
Yeah, 100 days ago, her family was with her, dropped her off at her house. 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, dropped her off at the house. The garage closes, and that's the last time they've seen her alive. And then tomorrow marks 100 days since she was officially reported missing.
There's so many questions, and I think that you could just do such a deep dive into, well, we have the surveillance video of someone approaching the doorbell cam. Yeah. But why isn't there video of her being dropped off? Do we have motion detectors in the garage? Why isn't there video of her maybe potentially, if she was kidnapped, being taken out of the house?
Yeah, so the biggest piece and really the most crucial piece of evidence is the video that they recovered from the doorbell camera. That's the lone piece of digital evidence that we know that they have. It shows an individual, a masked individual, on her front doorstep trying to disable the camera. Outside of that, we haven't heard of any other digital evidence. Obviously, there's DNA they've collected from the scene. But to your question, this is a rural area. North of Tucson, if you will, a very rural community, spread out. Homes are spread out. Houses are kind of off of the road a little bit. So anybody that would have had cameras, here you're looking at the video. This is again the most important piece of digital evidence they have. But if you're an individual, somebody who doesn't belong in this neighborhood, and you're roaming the area, there's going to be limited visuals, right? Mm-hmm. Anybody who has a doorbell camera in this neighborhood, unless you're right up on the doorstep, you're not going to see anything. It's very dark. There are no license plate readers really in this community. We counted maybe 3 within a 5-mile radius. Again, residential area, so you wouldn't expect there to be a ton of cameras anyway. But anybody a neighbor who had cameras wasn't going to pick up much, unless, of course, they're on your property. So they're relying really on that video that you saw and any DNA evidence collected at the scene.
Now, you and Justin Lum, our investigative reporter, have been really on this case since day one. We spoke to a former FBI agent earlier this morning on AZAM, and he says that because we haven't had a lot of new information coming out, they haven't been holding any press conferences, he says that leads him to believe that maybe they've got something brewing. I know you kind of have a lot of contacts on this story. What are you hearing from your contacts?
Well, tonight at 8, we have an on-the-record episode where we discuss this topic of where are we at in the 100-day mark, okay? So and we talked to several former investigators who tell us that we have now gone from a rescue to a recovery. Sure. So you could certainly paint the picture that they've been very secretive of releasing too much to the public. Again, in the first 2 weeks, we had ransom notes. Yep. We had this video. We had a
press
lot
conferences.
Yes, we had gloves found near the scene. We had abandoned vehicles. We had 2 potential people of interest who were taken into custody who are now not related to the case. So a lot of activity in that first 3-4 weeks. Then things just kind of died out and you didn't hear much. You could certainly imply that they have kept their evidence and their tips close to the vest in anticipation something could drop. But then you look at, all right, what is the piece of evidence they're looking at? Is it DNA? That seems to be the consensus, is something that a piece of DNA that they recovered has kind of led them through a rabbit hole and down a chain to where they have either a person of interest they're looking at, or they have some sort of better idea at this point, maybe what happened to her. But again, a lot of it is open-ended, and I would say in our business, the less communication that we have and the less we're hearing about the investigation, the more questions we have.
Sure, of course.
And whether we're painting the picture that, they're no closer to finding her than they were maybe 2 months ago.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos is under a lot of heat. A lot of people saying the investigation was botched. They released the alleged crime scene, the following day to the family, and then the crime scene tape went back up. There was a lot of back and forth. I mean, our cameras were on the the front porch or the side there, spotting that blood. And so he's getting a lot of heat, and the people are even calling for him to step down. But it's easy for us to judge. We don't know what they know. We don't know what they're looking at, what they're not looking at.
Right. And you know, look, we have a lot of crime junkies that are involved in this. And so there's a lot of speculation online. But again, to your point, the pressure that Nanos is under is twofold. One, how he handled the investigation, and then, of course, the pressure that he has and some of the questions that they've asked of him and his job history. As it relates to the investigation, anytime that there is confusion or questions about whether you used all the available resources that you had to solve this case, there was a lot of speculation of how quickly the FBI got involved. So, yes, that's some of the pressure that he's facing. But he was quoted, he was confronted outside Sheriff's Department this weekend, alluded to that maybe they are getting closer to solving the case. But again, as I said, this leaves it very open-ended, and we just don't know yet.
What time is your special?
It'll premiere on YouTube at 8 o'clock tonight. It's an on-the-record episode. Myself, Justin Lum, and we have 3 experts that have been following the case closely. And we just kind of sift through the 100 days and see where we're at and figure out like where the investigators would go next in this.
Can't wait to watch. Thank you.
Obi, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're switching gears here, you guys. We are going to be talking about this because over the weekend, DPS pulling over quite a few people on a very notorious stretch of Arizona Highway, the 51.
I was driving home Friday afternoon.
Did you get pulled over?
I did not. I don't break any laws. I was driving home on the 51, and I noticed I thought I was call them traffic breaks when DPS will kind of get in front of everyone and go
slow them down.
Slow because everyone's going so fast. And I thought, well, what is happening? Is there a crash? Is something going on? But I think what I was witnessing is what was taking place.
All right. So here to break it all down for us about what happened this weekend is Trooper Cameron Lee with DPS. Good morning.
Hi, good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
It's Sergeant.
It is Sergeant.
It's Sergeant.
That's okay.
He got promoted since yes.
No,
well, that's when I said Trooper. I was like,
he got promoted.
You know what?
I'll take it. I'm not offended.
Dave, you put
Sergeant.
Trooper on here. He's a sergeant.
Sergeant.
Dave needs to publicly apologize.
We have some statistics we're going to pop up if you want to go through them. This was within just 4 hours on the 51.
Yeah, and this is just outside of our rush hour, so traffic is a little bit slower, and our troopers are a little more available to really run this type of enforcement. 86 traffic stops in 4 hours. Wow. The interesting thing about it is there was 100% citation percentage on this.
So everyone pulled over, got a ticket.
Everyone pulled over, got a ticket. A lot of them were for speeding, obviously. I think a high was 92 miles an hour.
On the 51?
On the 51.
At what time?
This is after 10 a.m. This was from 10 to 2
Oh, my goodness. That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah. So the speeds are out of control. We have some distracted drivers that were cited, 22 of those.
Good.
So, you know, this is part of the Arrive Alive Arizona campaign that Highway Patrol is pushing. And I guess our message is, if you're going to get stopped by a trooper, expect a ticket. Because it seems like warnings just aren't
getting
working.
through to people.
They aren't getting through to people.
When you say 92 miles an hour on the 51, that is bonkers, because that is a very dangerous stretch of road, especially starts to narrow. What about Glendale's when it starts to narrow?
Yeah, right around
through
there.
downtown or to midtown. I mean, that is kind of crazy. You are obviously out there day in, day out. What are you seeing when it comes to these speeds? Because it seems like the 51, the 17, they just seem to be, people are getting faster and faster on those roads and really not paying attention to speed limits.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those things where our primary job is public safety and to preserve life, and we can't do it by ourselves. You know, I mean, the reality is we're outnumbered as troopers. How many hundreds of thousands of cars do we have daily? So we really need everyone's help to help us with this. But we're just seeing people that are just kind of in their own world. They don't really care about anyone else. They're just, they have somewhere they need to be, and they're just blocking things out. Driving distracted has become a huge problem. And I also understand our cars are getting newer and
more bells and whistles.
And they drive smoother. And so you could be going a little bit faster than maybe you think you are. But we all take a part in traffic safety. We are responsible as a driver. When you sign for that driver's license, you say, "Hey, I'm gonna help keep Arizona roads safe."
Sure.
Speed limit on the 51 is what, 65 miles per hour. What is the citation? What's a punishment, I guess you will, or for going 92?
So that's a criminal speed citation. That is a misdemeanor citation. So you can go to jail for that.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are, what we're trying to show people, there are repercussions. It's not for us. We're not being mean.
Right.
But the things that we're citing people for are things that we have seen have caused collisions or been factors in collisions. We deal with those on a daily basis. So to us, like, we know you don't want to pay a fine or get a ticket, but I promise you that we are doing this in your interest, in the interest of public safety.
What are some excuses when you pull people over that they tell you? Because someone right there just said, Jen says, I don't understand why people have to go 90 miles an hour. And I was like, you know what? That's very true. So what are excuses that people give you?
Late is one. I wasn't paying attention, which is not a great excuse because
pay attention.
I tell people, well, that's why we're here right now. Right?
Yeah.
I've had people they were going to the emergency room or urgent care.
Were they?
And I've actually followed them to make sure they got there safely, and they really weren't. Yeah, I just say, well, you know what? I'll just meet you up there and we'll talk about it when you guys get to urgent care.
Good for you.
They weren't going to urgent care. They need to go to the bathroom. I mean,
you name it, you've heard it.
Yeah.
You imagine it, you've
heard it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this distracted driving? Because it was just, I think, last week or the week before that I'm on the 51 northbound going home. So it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's fairly busy. And I look to the gentleman next to me who almost ran into me. And he is literally, we have about a minute left, Sergeant, looking down at his phone with a cigarette in his hand. I don't know how he was driving.
Yeah, it's a real problem. At those speeds, you don't have a second to look down at your phone, to read a text, to text anyone. You have to be focused on what you're doing. In a second, you can travel so far at 65, 75, 85, 92 miles an hour.
Yeah.
If somebody hits the brakes in front of you and you're going that fast, you'll hit them before you even have time to react.
Yeah.
So,
and really quickly, it is against the law to be on your cell phone.
it is, absolutely.
You can't be manipulating it.
You can't manipulate it anyway. You can't hold it on your person. And I've unfortunately had to stop people that were watching TV, watching shows.
I was just going to say, I saw a lady had it in her dashboard.
No.
Yeah, but she was holding her phone on top of her steering wheel.
Wow.
And she was upset that I stopped her.
You ruined her day.
We're glad you did.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
all me.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll be right back. see that shot out there?
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
No, it's hot.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know that people think that we complain about the heat. We're not complaining about the heat. These are facts. I was just outside live, and it was toasty warm, spicy, I think. We have an air quality alert. We have weather alerts.
It's going to be 109 degrees today, potentially breaking a record. So we'll be watching for that. So that just means that your AC
needs to, well, it's going to be working overtime.
It's going to be working overtime.
And you want to make sure that it is working correctly.
Indeed, you do. So we have Chris Watt. He is from the Refrigeration School Incorporated. I've been over there with you guys before. It is such a cool school.
It
you
is.
guys, it's hands-on. It's fantastic what you guys do.
Yeah, I've been there 13 years now, and I love what I do. I actually went through there as a student 15 years ago to get my EPA card because I wanted to start my own company. I graduated 4 days later. They called me and said, "Hey, you want to be a teacher?" And I kind of giggled at them. I thought it was a crank call. No, seriously, because I guess my classmates told them that I broke stuff down to them very easily. And so I've been there ever since. And I like transferring the knowledge that I have to the next generation of people coming out. And it's a lot of fun. I built a lot of stuff in my classroom for the students to work on. I even have a thing I call Frankenstein. It's a AC machine that I built out of garbage parts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I say this like in all respect. I think you guys save lives because when we are in the midst of that torturous heat, 120 degrees. We have both been out on scenes where people unfortunately do not survive. Yes. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes healthy people, when their AC breaks down and they decide to stay in the house, they don't make it. We're in Arizona. The reality is you have to have AC.
Yep. And there's things that the homeowners themselves can do to kind of keep it running because it's almost like a car. If you don't keep it maintained, it's going to fail. So one thing I always tell people, change their filters. 30, 35 days, keep that thing changed out.
They get dirty here too.
Yeah, with the dust. Yeah.
So every time you open the door, there's dust and stuff coming in. The pleated ones that they've been putting on some of these new homes, I'm not big fans of those just because they restrict the airflow a little bit more than you really want them to. So I use the cheap ones from Home Depot, the 5-packs.
Yeah.
Just change them regularly out. You can wash your coil off outside. You can take a garden hose because there's that piece on the side of the house.
So you're saying you can spray right into the top of that?
So I wouldn't spray on the top where the fan is, but that cage around the outside right there.
Okay.
You can actually spray that all down with a garden hose. Just not much water pressure because once dust gets on that coil, it kind of stops the rejection of the heat that we're absorbing inside.
Do you want to wait until maybe I don't know, early AM when the temp is cooler or in the evening? Or is it okay to go out there in the middle of the day? And
you can do it in the middle of the day. Just turn the power off first.
Okay.
Turn the power
or turn the thermostat off so it's not coming on. That way the fans don't spin and stuff like that.
Makes, because it'll cool the whole unit down.
Yeah.
Okay. What else can people do at home?
Once they get all that stuff done, call a professional out at least like once a year, maybe every 2 years to just make sure and do a tune-up to it. So just like your car, changing the oil, changing the filters, having your brakes checked and all that, same thing. Just call a good company. Look them up online. Look at the reviews. You can look at Better Business Bureau to make sure that they're a reputable, good company you can trust. But those are the three main things that they can do to keep that unit running through the whole summer.
When you start to have some issues, because I noticed I've had this happen now 3 times where the AC unit has gone out and you notice that the thermostat's cranked way down, but you see that temperature in the actual house starts to creep up. What are is there like some maybe easy things that maybe you should problem solve yourself before calling a professional?
Check the vents. See what kind of air temperature you have coming out of the vents. Is it hot? Is it cool? Is it not cold as it was before? You could also make sure that the thermostat has been programmed right, because sometimes if you lose power and you haven't changed the batteries in a while, it will revert back to its original programming.
Gotcha.
And then it's, then you got an issue like that. But yeah, I would check vent temps. Just put your hand in front of it. It's coming out warm, cold, stuff like that. Is the outside unit spinning, like the fan on top? Is that even spinning? Because sometimes that thing will fail. And, if you have air coming out of your vent, that eliminates one part that we know is working. So it would really just rely on that part outside.
How do you know when you need an AC unit? And how do you know when it's worth fixing? Because someone might come out and say 400. Someone else might come out and bid that job for 4,000.
That's going to be a little bit more research on your part.
Okay.
Older units, they, like R22 is one of the old refrigerants they used to use. And honestly, I wish they would have never gotten rid of it because it was one of the best.
Right.
But the parts for that is so expensive now, it's almost cheaper to replace it with one of the new ones. I usually tell people get a second opinion. Always get a second opinion or even a third opinion, just because you might have somebody tell you, like you were saying, $1,000, it might be a $40 part.
Right, right. Is a more expensive unit better?
Not always. Not always. It just depends on what you need to do. Like somebody with breathing problems, asthma, stuff like that, maybe a new unit with a few extras on it, like an air scrubber or things to filter the air a little bit better, maybe. But no, as long as it provides cool air and it's the right size for the home that you're in or the space you're in, that's really the biggest things.
What about a lifespan? What is the lifespan of an AC AC unit these days?
So I just replaced mine 4 years ago, and mine was 27 years old.
But see, you know what you're doing, though, right?
But you know what?
Honestly, I never touched the unit that was on my house. No, I cleaned the coil on it because mine was up on my rooftop. So I would just climb up there to the garden hose and clean the outdoor coil like that piece you saw on the side of the house. But other than that, I never really touched it because it was, it was working. And once it started getting past that 20-year mark, I checked it out here and there during the summer just to make sure. But I would say if it's being maintained, you're changing your filter and all that stuff, you should be able to get at least 15 to 20 years out.
Wow.
And I'm going to agree with you on that because we put new AC units in, I'm going to say it was like 3 years ago. Yeah. It'll be 3 years ago this summer. But the old unit, it was time to go, but it was tough to make that decision because I feel like it was made so well.
Yeah. If they could have replaced parts, it's possible. But again, the cost of the part
sometimes
might not have outweighed the new unit. Plus, you get a warranty with the new unit.
If people are interested in a career at RSI?
Yep. We've been doing it 60 years now. We have the refrigeration part of it. We have the electrical part of it. And we also have welding now. They can check out rsi.edu is the website. They can get any information they want to on there. The EMT program is the HVAC part. It's 9 months. Some of the welding programs are about 9 months. And once you get that 9-month certificate, you can go get a job. So it's not like you get out of almost like college and you're looking for a job forever. And we have career services too, which will also help you find a job.
Maybe a side hustle for Ty?
You know what? I wish I had some sort of skill like that because
I know it would save a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's a good trade.
And
too.
it's a great trade.
There's a lot of people like myself that are getting older now and they don't want to do that hard work anymore, get up in the attic, and they're going to the offices or becoming managers. And so there's a big gap of missing people that we need to replace, and that goes for plumbers, all the trades.
But you need it because robots and AI are not going to be able to fix it.
No, they'll tell you maybe what's wrong with it to a degree, but they'll never be able to fix it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris, we appreciate it. Thanks for what you do.
So much.
We appreciate it.
Stay cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, our next guest, you guys, look at this. These are some great books. He said he has 16 of them. Is that right,
wow.
Leslie?
Yes, I do. Hello.
16 books. And
Mr. Leslie Wilkes?
Yes.
Hey.
All right, well, welcome on in, Mr. Wilkes. Thanks for coming in.
Wow.
Let's start at the very beginning. Tell us about these books.
Well, when I started off in 2011, my first nonprofit, WLL Enterprises, which was started in the city of Compton, it was healthy eating books. And from then on, I kept seeing things changing in our youth. So I decided to write more about, what's going on, things we see on the news. So my self-help books, we have one on fentanyl, 2 mentoring books, one for boys and girls, which I had help with the second one. Bernice Abrams, thank you for helping me with that girls book. And we have one on adoption.
Cool.
Because a lot of times, kids, it's hard for the parents to explain that they were adopted.
Yeah.
But the one for this month being Mental Health Month, why are we the same but different? It's hard to explain, what's wrong with our kids, and it's hard to explain to them. And this book, it helps them to see signs of what, possibly could be a sign of that they're suffering from mental illness.
Leslie, I was going to interrupt you real quick. These are difficult topics that you're tackling. These are not like lighthearted books, but you've made them in the way that they're easy for children to ingest and understand. Why did you want to tackle it, like such serious topics like this?
Because of the need. A lot of times, these subjects are overlooked. They just, a lot of times, maybe we'll give him some medicine and he'll calm down.
Sure.
Or something like that. But I wanted the kids to read about what possibly could be going wrong and let their minds start thinking so they could start, asking questions to get help.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to say, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I grew up in Compton, California, and I saw that there was a lot of things that we did not have that other cities had. And when I got to the point where I was able to help our youth, give them the same chance that anybody else could have, no matter where they are in the world, I decided to take that step in 2011.
And you also have a nonprofit, correct? Is that?
I have one that started in Compton, California, and I have one that started here in Arizona, helping others overcome deprivation, Hood Incorporated.
So tell us about Hood.
Hood is the other nonprofit was strictly dealing with our youth and kids, but this is encompassing the whole family. We have family literacy programs. We have all types of programs that encompass the whole family. And to back up a little bit, when I grew up, I grew up with dyslexia. So I had to overcome that to start writing books. And it was ironic that my brother and sister, they were older than me, and they were A students. So one of the teachers asked me, she said, what happened to you?
Like it was your fault, not knowing.
So, so I want to overcome that because, and I want to help others.
Sure.
Page 39 on this is the book, Why Are We the Same But Different, says, do not be ashamed about sharing your feelings with your parents or a close adult relative because they can get you the help that you need. Simple, but very powerful. Right, because sometimes, kids might not feel comfortable talking to their parents about things, but they might have a close family friend that they can talk to about that. So, that's why I want to express that your parents aren't the only ones you can talk to, to get help.
Yeah. Where can folks find your books? And you mentioned there's 16 of them. You brought some of them here with you this morning.
You can go on my website to www.wllenterprisesinc.org.
Awesome.
Now, you've tackled a lot of heavy topics. Are there more that you kind of have noodling around that you want to write about?
Oh yes. I can't give you
No, we don't.
But probably one or two more this year.
Wow.
Good for you.
Good for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for helping
because it is
people
interesting,
out.
and it starts a conversation, which I think is really important between the parent and the child about some of these pretty weighty topics.
Yes, and they can also reach me on my website if you have any questions. If you want to partner, donate, or anything else, go to my website.
And what's that website? One more time.
www.wllenterprisesinc.org.
And then if folks wanted more information about Hood, how can they find that?
It's on the same website.
Awesome.
One-stop shop.
There we go.
Mr. Wilkes, you made it easy.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Thanks for what you do. We'll be back after a quick break.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good morning, you guys. Time now, 11:30. Thanks for hanging with us there in the chat. It looks pretty active. I haven't had a chance to catch up on the convo, but I see Jenna talking about bread and fruit or something. I don't know. I love both of those things.
Me too.
Right? Sounds good. A beautiful shot of downtown Phoenix here today. Unfortunately, if you've been watching the show all day, we have been talking about some pretty hot temperatures today.
Hot temperatures. And now we're going to talk about some hot topics.
Absolutely. Yes, we have someone you know and love. We have Josh Colesrud in with us today.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me on.
Yes. Here's my... Okay, there we go. All right. Just trying to figure out which shot is the three of us here. Do you have a good weekend?
Oh, it was excellent. Yeah. I relaxed, watched the UFC fight on Saturday, and yeah, it was a good time.
Okay, good. I wondered what you do on the weekend because I envision you never taking a day off.
I know, right?
You're always so busy, I'm sure.
Yep.
So we're having you in to talk about a case that you've been on the show to talk about before.
Sure.
We have this Arizona lottery ticket that was sold in Scottsdale, right? Or kind of sold, not sold.
Sure.
It's at the center of this legal case. So walk us through kind of the very latest and what's happening with this.
So just to remind the viewers, this is a case where you have a store clerk who was working at Circle K, and there was a lottery for around $12 million, and nobody had claimed the ticket. And the next morning, the store clerk heard that the winning ticket was sold from that location. And once the store clerk ended his shift, he went out to his car, changed his clothes, came back in, and bought the remaining tickets for that lottery. And one of those tickets was the winning ticket. And Circle K found out about it and took possession of the ticket. And now there's a big lawsuit about who owns the ticket. Now, the lottery, the state lottery, says that once a ticket is printed out, it belongs to the store. So Circle K says it belongs to them. And they're also claiming that the store clerk owes a fiduciary duty to the store. And even if he bought the ticket, that, you know, if you work in a gold mine, you find gold, it belongs to your employers. They're just saying it belongs to them. Now, the clerk may have a case here if he can show that he had no idea that the winning ticket that he bought was at the Circle K. So if he just walked in like you or I with no knowledge about the winning ticket, he has a really good case of keeping it. So now...
But does it appear that way? I mean, if you clocked out, changed your clothes, went back to buy these tickets,
it does raise red flags.
It kind of seems questionable there, right?
It seems premeditated. It's almost like he looked up on ChatGPT about what he should do if he's going to make a claim. So yes, you know, the fact that he went out, changed his clothes, like why would you have to change your clothes,
right?
Or even go back to the same Circle K that you work, unless you had inside knowledge. And you know, that's where this case really is about. You know, if he had inside knowledge, it's kind of like insider trading with stocks, that you can't use that to your benefit for a variety of reasons. Number one, the profits go to the employer, but the Arizona lottery also doesn't want it because it really, like, it saps the trust that people have in the lottery system. They don't want people to try to game the system because they have inside knowledge to the winning numbers, for example.
So if he hadn't done this, because, okay, so Circle K is contending that under state rules, unsold, overprinted tickets are the property of them. So let's say he didn't walk back in and end up purchasing this ticket.
Sure.
What would have happened to it? Would Circle K have claimed the winning jackpot?
So that's a good question. Yes, Circle K would be in the same position that it's in now with the same claim, saying, look, we printed out these tickets from the night before and they went unsold. So the Arizona lottery says they belong to us. It belongs to us. But there is a claim that the Arizona lottery should get the money back. And if that happens, then the money should have been rolled over to the next lottery winner, and the money could have potentially gone to that winner. So it does create kind of a mess here. But I think the facts are pretty strong for Circle K to come out as the winner in this case.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think happens here? So with this temporary restraining order Circle K is hoping is granted, that's to stop the ticket from expiring because it expires on the 23rd. But they're not hearing this. The next scheduled hearing for this isn't until May 15th.
Yep.
I mean, what? I don't know. We don't have a, magic 8-ball, but what could happen here?
So, this is just a procedural maneuver, and it basically means that a winner of a lottery ticket has about 6 months to claim the ticket, the prize. And what this does is it presses a button and says halt to the Arizona Lottery, saying, you can't make any determination about who the money goes to until the judge, in this case, rules on the merits of the case.
Okay. Is it likely for a judge to do that?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
There's a good cause for this to happen. Judge Kramer is a very good judge, and I think that he'll definitely come to a just result in this case.
Okay. All right. So you're watching that one closely. We all will be. So that's May 15th. So that's Friday.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Yeah. So that's okay. All right. And our next case this morning, I know you have a strong interest in this one, Josh. We're talking about now another indictment.
Yes.
For former FBI Director James Comey over an Instagram post here.
So, the reason why this case is important is because it really defines what free speech is and what free speech isn't. So this is
because what is the allegation?
The allegation. So James Comey, who is the former director of the FBI under both President Obama, President Trump, and then he was fired under President Trump. And then he became an advocate for or against President Trump after he left the White House in 2016. So he's kind of been a nemesis of President Trump since then. And about a year ago, he posted a picture of seashells that said 8647. And President Trump and his allies immediately said that was a call for Trump's assassination and called for the Justice Department to press charges against him.
Yeah, and we're seeing that image here in 86 referring to kill, and then 47 obviously being associated with President Trump being the 47th president.
But there's some issues with this. So in order for somebody to threaten the president, they have to do two things. Number one, the action itself has to be a true threat. So every federal crime has two different components. You have an action, and then you have the mental state that you meant to do something. But you don't even get to James Comey's intention until you can either say what he did was criminal or not. And so here, 86 is an ambiguous, or, it's a term that nobody can kind of agree on. It's kind of fuzzy about what exactly it means.
Right.
It's slang for nix or get rid of. In the mafia context, it means to kill or maybe even assassinate. But here, you just don't know what was meant on its face. So I think that the Justice Department is going to have a really tough job even getting this case before a jury, because a judge most likely will decide that it was unconstitutional because it's political speech. And at what point does political speech become a threat? And it's when it becomes a true threat. When you look at it and it's not ambiguous, and that you are making a threat against the President of the United States. There's no ambiguity to what you said. That is considered a true threat. Otherwise, it's political speech.
Okay. All right. Watching that one close then.
Interesting.
And then we only have just a couple minutes, but I think it's a talker amongst folks who have kind of been following this case. To be quite honest, I'm still a little confused. So we've got Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. I mean, originally she filed those 13 claims related to sexual harassment, on set of this movie, and then he countersues. But now we've got a settlement.
Right.
Yeah, this case started out, with real juicy details from both sides. And they both had their PR departments, slinging information online.
There's been so much back and forth.
So much.
They wrangled in Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds and a lot of other celebrities. Now, what happened is what usually happens in civil litigation, that, on the eve of trial, the litigants decide to settle the case, especially after they consider the cost, and the judge in this case dismissed the majority of the allegations that both sides had against each other, which kind of destroys the leverage a little bit. And then
then why is there a settlement in this case? I guess that's what I was finding hard to understand.
Well, the settlement is, a situation where both sides can walk away and declare victory. Which is what both sides have actually done in this case. Going to trial, you never know what a jury is going to do. and it can wreck a career. I mean, look at the Johnny Depp situation with Amber Heard. When Amber Heard prevailed on her first defamation suit in London, but when she came back here in the United States and had a different jury, it probably destroyed her career. And that can happen to anybody who is, doesn't perform well on the witness stand. And they want to protect their reputations more than they care about money. So they decided to walk away from the litigation and settle. It's clear that no money changed hands, according to both attorneys. But that doesn't mean the litigation is over with either. So one of the things that's still on the table are attorney's fees.
We got about a minute and a half left.
And so that's one of the things that that both sides will be fighting for going forward.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see where that one goes. And then something to follow closely, potentially, this next case. We'll see how far this goes. Singer Dua Lipa is taking legal action against Samsung for allegedly using her likeness without consent. So she's actually demanding $15 million here in this case. Do you think she potentially could have, a good fight up in front of her?
Well, this is a typical copyright infringement case, using somebody's likeness without their permission. Now, Samsung has not responded yet to the allegations. I was struck by the number of $15 million. I would have thought that it might be even more money. But, as of right now, all we have are the allegations that Samsung used her likeness in one of their products. And, we'll probably see in the next month or so how Samsung responds to those allegations.
Yeah, we shall see. Now I'm curious what photo they put on these TV boxes here.
I know.
On that, Dua Lipa and her team is arguing, hey, my photo helped them sell these TVs.
Yeah, increase the sales, they say.
Right? Pay me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Josh, always a pleasure having you on Fox 10 Talks with us. We appreciate your time. You guys, here is the mystery camera for this Monday morning.
Ooh, pretty.
This is quite beautiful. Get your guesses in the chat. Stay with us.
Bye, Josh.
Yeah.
Hi. Thanks for staying with us through the break. Here come those guesses. I'm like, come on. Where's everybody at on a Monday? Help a girl out. Because, yeah, I said I'm stumped again, as per usual.
As per usual. Linda says Iowa, ? We got a South Dakota from B. Miguel. Outlaw Dynamo and Louis Gonzalez are both saying Iowa. So 3 Iowas in the chat.
3 for Iowa? I mean, all right. That's my guess. I'm not going to go against Team Iowa today then. Are you thinking the same thing?
I was going to say Texas. Okay. I don't know. I was just there recently, and the trees and the water kind of remind me of it.
Okay.
But I have no idea.
Somewhere in Texas. We'll see. I'll let you do the honors. Oh, by the way, thanks for joining me today. I didn't even say thanks. Ron has the day off, you guys, and he's off tomorrow too. So yeah,
we got a nice little girl gang today.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Bella's gonna reveal the answer. It is
Beloit,
Wisconsin. Oh, here's another look at that. Okay. Fun. Beautiful. We were kind of joking during break. We go, Ron's probably been there.
Yes. Ron probably has been there, and he probably has a whole story associated with it.
You know, he has hit all 50 states.
He
so
has.
That is pretty amazing. A little philosophy coming in late there with the guess of Alabama. Nope, it is Beloit, you guys.
No one got it. Okay.
That's actually quite beautiful there, right along the river.
Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. I think it looks pretty, and I'm sure it is not as hot as it is here right now.
Yeah, probably not. I can't believe we're seeing a high of 109 today, especially when Crystal said the average was 93.
I know.
We are far off from that.
Far off.
But, I mean, it is May. We kind of expect it as we head into summer.
I know. It's the triple digits are back, and we're not ready, but what can we do?
Well, buckle up, right?
I do know we have a fun, exciting guest coming up. Yeah. We have her on Zoom. Her name is Amy Summers. She is an entrepreneur, a speaker, and a best-selling author. Hi, Amy. How are you doing?
Amy.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for taking the time out today.
So I can hear her.
So we are really excited because we have, Amy, ASU graduates here in Phoenix graduating today. There's a few ceremonies. I mean, what a big pivotal moment in so many young people's lives. And they are obviously graduating after working so hard for maybe even more years on their degrees. But it's a tough job market out there. And we are talking about qualified graduates struggling to get hired. Why is that the case?
You're right. It is so tough right now. Talent's not the issue. We got plenty of talent coming out of all of these schools across the country. And the real problem is visibility. So they're doing the whole interview process, but a lot of the interview process now at some of these companies are being automated by AI. So it's really tricky. And so you're in a system doing an interview with a system that never was designed to build a relationship. So we have to get really crafty now.
A question for you, just on the topic of AI. You know, we're in the world of AI starting to replace specific jobs. How is it changing that entry-level hiring process and just the way that candidates need to approach their job search?
Well, first of all, it's changing just the interview process. So a lot of students are telling me that, you know, the first 2 rounds of their interviews have been all automated by AI. So they don't even see a person. Now, here's something that an employer should really be thinking about. These students are also telling me that they figured it out. So maybe they didn't make it through the first round of the AI interview, but now they know what questions and how they have to answer it. And they're using AI to figure out how to answer it. So by the time they get to the 3rd round with a real human being, my question to employers are, who are you really hiring? How do you know who you're hiring? You just figured out, you're hiring somebody who figured out the puzzle. So I'm not sure what the ramifications are of this over time, but if we're doing it to be efficient, we may end up with somebody that's not really a good fit for our team.
So what is the best advice you give a graduate on how to land that first job? I'm just going back to kind of my experience and, you know, what I heard, and it was, you know, build those relationships, right? Whether it be on that internship or the job that you worked, and stay in contact with those people, communicate often. Is that still the case? Is that helping recent graduates land that potential first job?
Well, I think it's a new era, right? It's different from when you were looking for a job. It's way different from when I was looking for a job. When I was looking for a job, we had thank you notes in our bag and we would put it in the mailbox immediately after we left. And that's how we got people's attention. But today, it's not red tape. It's digital screens that they're trying to get past. You're not trying to get through the secretary and calling and following up. You're trying to get around all these digital screens. So I think one thing is that graduates need to get more creative. They can't be doing what everybody else is doing. So they have to get online, on social. Who's the founder of the company? Who works there? Start connecting with those people online. Be visible online. Even if you don't have a direct line by phone into the office, you can get their attention if you start liking what they're writing about, commenting on their posts. They will see you.
Okay, so Amy, would you say that's some of the best ways a candidate can stand out immediately? For those that are outside who want to surpass that AI, how can a student just graduated stand out essentially, besides the fact of, finding those people online, friending them? What are some other tips you could give out to that next generation?
Other things that you really have to start using your own network. And so we kind of look at networking like a transaction these days, but I would challenge you to look at it more like a relationship. So who do your parents know? Where do your parents' friends work? Start there. Start building with people that you already know. Let people know that you're looking for a job, that you're very interested in meeting anyone, even if they don't have a job opportunity available. This is old school, networking, and that's just building relationships. So you never know who you're going to run into. I mean, you might be surprised, Uncle, John might, be friends with the head of a big company that you didn't even realize. So start asking questions, start with your family and work out.
Yeah, start there with the connections you might have and know through others. So let's talk about the logistical aspect of it, because I'm sure that has changed also given technology and AI. How are recent graduates these days submitting a resume? And not only that, how do you make that resume stand out?
Well, it's really challenging, like we talked about, because AI is screening resumes. And what students are telling me is that it used to be that maybe they would get a rejection a few weeks later because somebody reviewed it. But now they're getting rejections immediately, like within 24 hours. So that means that it's just going through a machine. If it's not hitting all the words that need to be on it, it's getting spit back and they're being rejected like immediately. So it's very, discouraging for students.
Do you know why would that be the case? Are there specific keywords that AI is looking for that what if a candidate maybe does match, that job description that they're applying for, but somehow AI spits that resume, back out?
That's exactly what's happening, which is why a lot of even colleges are teaching students how to write a resume so it can get past the AI filter first. I mean, that's drastically different from what we learned, which was trying to show our personality. Personality may or may not matter if a human's not actually looking at it. Used to, you could write a real creative cover letter and get someone's attention. But now, if you're not using the right words, you may not. So that's what I'm saying. You really have to, that's what we're dealing with right now. So you're going to have to do your own research. You're going to have to leverage LinkedIn heavily. These professionals are using LinkedIn a lot more than they used to, which is great. And people that are founders of companies and running companies like myself, who have written books and are putting content out all the time. I mean, we're not short of sharing all of our information. So it makes it a lot easier to research us. In fact, I just hired someone whose first day was today. She's the first person that's, I just have a book that has just come out, Lift. She read my entire book. And she's been aggressively, coming after me on social media and any opportunity I could give her. She gave me an Amazon review. I couldn't ignore her. And now she has a job. So I think I love that. Be more creative.
Yeah, I love that you just shared that with us. So, and that's, I guess, maybe the fine line. Would someone not do that thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I'm being annoying? Maybe this person, I look crazy or I don't want to be too aggressive. But in your case, that actually worked?
Yes, and communication is the skill that's the most in demand right now. That is what employers are looking for. They're looking for somebody who knows how to communicate. So show them that you know how to communicate. I mean, it's the most lacking skill, but it's the most in demand. So the person that, you know, is the most responsive is the one that's going to be immediately noticed, not the perfectionist at this point. You know, we're looking for people that, you know, get our attention.
I mean, anyone can like write into an AI chatbot and generate an answer. So I think that one person who's going out of their way to make an impression, it's important.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So we wish her the best and hope she has a lot of success with you. That's kind of exciting. So what you're talking about actually worked. That was a really cool example. Well, tell us about your book. We have about a minute and a half left. Like you mentioned, it's called Lift, 10 mentorship touch points to empower your team and accelerate your career. Give us just a snapshot. What's in it, where we can find it.
Yeah, Lift is all about elevating people that you work with and helping them succeed. And as you help them succeed, you will also rise. So it's really about the importance of relationships. So a lot of what we're talking about right now. So I think it's very applicable to anybody just, you know, starting out in their career, but also for employers that are trying to navigate this, you know, new environment of AI and disconnection. It's just about bringing it back to relationships and building those relationships and how to do it in easy ways to do it every day.
Yeah, and that's amazing because you know, maybe anyone can be a boss, but being a you know, mediocre, a good boss, and a great boss are very different things. So, all right, so folks can check that out. Where can we get your book?
So if you go to lifttolead.com, all the links are there. Of course, you can get it on Amazon and anywhere where you can buy books online, or Audible if you don't have time to read.
Oh, fun.
Lifttolead.com. Yes.
Okay, that's nice. We like audiobooks.
Yes.
Some of us have long drives into work in the morning, so that's nice. All right, Amy, it's